Hi, this is Stacy. Welcome to my channel. These are paintings I did in 2019, starting with this one based on a Chuck Black tutorial. Then I discovered British artist Stuart Davies. He lives in France, he paints with oil, he has an amazing sense of color and vibrancy to his paintings that I wanted to experiment with and bring some of that into my work as well. These are fun little experiments to do, but they're easier to do in oil than they are in acrylic. Acrylic, you have to work small. So these are quite small paintings. Usually the biggest one I think was 9 by 12. Most of them are much smaller. They're 8 by 10 or 5 by 7. If you like my videos, please hit that subscribe button and you can see a new video every Friday if you hit that little notification bell. It'll remind you. This one was done with leftover paint. This is based on a reference photo from Pixabay. A reference photo that I found on my iPad. So I don't know who the original was, or I'd give them credit. This is based on a Tom Shropshire step-by-step instruction book that I bought at Michael's. More dramatic skies and water, a little bit of Stuart Davies. Another Pixabay reference photo used here. And here was also a reference photo from Pixabay for the dramatic skies, using some of the stuff I learned from Chuck Black and incorporating my own ideas. This painting is called Twins. It's one of my personal favorites. In case you hadn't noticed, I like doing trees, dramatic skies. Does that add up to landscapes? Yeah, maybe. Pretty fond of landscapes. Can't get enough of them, evidently. Gone fishing. This one, my uncle swears I painted it for him. This is based on a Jane Font tutorial, Forest Aglow, which I loved this tutorial so much. I learned so much from it. I did it several different ways, incorporating different colors, different schemes. Some of my trees kind of look a little creepy, I noticed. Kind of like they belong on an angry orchard. Sometimes paintings don't work. So here's a photo of one that I painted over. This one's a limited palette with Prussian blue, Diox purple, white, and black. Sometimes I will explore a theme, like in this case, the theme is waterfalls. Water coming straight down. What does it look like? How can I paint it? This photo, I liked it so well, I did this painting twice. This is the first one, which is small. It's, I think, 9 by 12. And this one is 22 by 18. And it hangs in my house. This is a space orchid. Nebulas are always fun to paint. They're very free-flowing. Want to work on values? Try doing paintings in black and white. These landscapes are a lot of fun to do in black and white. I really enjoy them. It's freeing not to be controlled by color. Although, we can't leave color out of the picture. I want to do something with lightning and something tropical, so here you go. This one, you can almost feel the heat on a hot summer day when you look at it. I just love this painting. This is an unfinished oil painting, and I hope someday to finish it. It should look like Eastern Washington State up by Grand Coulee Dam. This is mixed media. It has glass bead, modeling paste, acrylic ink, acrylic paint. A lot of fun. Based on a Ginger Cook tutorial, Lavender Dock. This is a Jane font tutorial. I liked it so much I did it twice, and I like both versions equally well. What do you think? This is based on a photo from Pixabay, Mount Fuji with grasses. Something different. I am not much of a photographer. I got a fuzzy photo here, but it was fun to paint. Here's a mixed media. Again, glass bead, modeling paste, acrylic ink, acrylic paint, an up-close detail on the glass bead on the fish, acrylic ink, this is one of my favoriteest paintings, my most favorite, Basking in the Sun. Who doesn't like poppies? This painting is mixed media. I took 2 photos of this so you can see how it looks in different light. It'll be almost like a totally different painting. Told ya. And then we'll go back to doing landscapes. This one's kind of boring, I think. Hot glue gun on canvas board, gesso, then paint. They're very interesting, but they're not exactly my cup of tea. So I did a couple of them and then stopped. This is the first in my supersized flower series. There are 8, and this is the Oriental poppy. These are all on 16 by 20 inch canvases, and so they're pretty good sized. I did the poppy, daffodil, a rose, burgundy peony, blue iris, a supersized plain marigold, which is probably my favorite because it looks really soft if you see it in person. I also did a very colorful orchid and an orange zinnia, which I really enjoy doing these, but I don't know if I will ever go back to doing more of them in the future. I might. I started doing acrylic pours in 2019. I don't do these very often. They take up quite a bit of space, and I live in a very small house. And I started doing these in wintertime, so I didn't have space outside to do them. They're fun, they're interesting, and no two are ever alike, even if you have the same mix of paints. These first ones were not named because they're the experimental ones, and then I started naming them because they look like magma, lava, storms of Jupiter, which these next 3 paintings all have the same mix, but they all turned out very different. Storms of Jupiter 2 here is very different from the first one, and very different from this last one where the copper seemed to take control and the white took control. Then we have an orange one here. Looks like a solar flare, so I called it Solaris. This one's probably my favorite. It's gold and a baby blue. It turned out really nice. I love it. And this one is very pretty too. It's called Sea Life. This is called Balance. It's based on a photo by Pixabay. And I love this painting. This one's also based on a reference photo from Pixabay. This one was a commissioned piece that had to have an eagle, a deer, and a scene from Western Washington in it. In September of 2019, I went on a vacation to New Mexico, which is truly the land of enchantment. And these watercolors were done while I was there, and they inspired a couple more paintings. The Taos Pueblo was really interesting, and I really enjoyed it there. Spent a whole day. I noticed that a lot of buildings in New Mexico are adobe or adobe-like. And of course, the night skies are amazing. I did a lot of night sky type paintings, but none were as successful as the one with the cactus. This was based on a Jane font tutorial, Skull and Moth. appropriate for Halloween. Here's one in preparation for Christmas. This is His Eminence, the Cardinal. A doodle drawing that I did and colored in. This is a small 5x7 painting called Pretty Poppies. Who doesn't like a pretty poppy? This was an Art Sherpa tutorial, barn with sunflowers. Great fun to do. This was painted with Golden's Open Acrylics. It's the only painting I've done with them, and I hope to do more in the future. More doodle drawings. This is where I started doodling and thinking about maybe doing some coloring books, which since these were done, I've done almost 5 color books. I've got a 5th one in the hopper. This is a blue jay, or a jaybird, if you will. This is based on a Pixabay photo. I don't know what kind of bird that is, but he's kind of cute. An Art Sherpa tutorial, Riding Hood. Just a colorful painting, landscape. And then I did a couple of digital paintings, and this is just using a small little sketch desk program and my finger on an iPad. Here's another drawing I did. And the last painting of the year is a Chinese emperor with gold paint on the background. Very shimmery. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing and liking this video. Every Friday I have a new video up. I really appreciate any of your comments. Thanks again. See you next time.